What have you done?
Kerrigan, the die is cast. This is the last day. Your swarm darkens the sky of any planet.
Forget Minsk. Forget all of it.
When we are done here, I will return to my people and accept their judgment.
Command, we've found Kerrigan. She's holed up in a Zerg base.
I made my peace long ago.
Consider it done. For hire. Indeed.
Hello, everybody.
Have you heard the news? Son of a Critch is now on Thursdays.
What is happening?
It's the hit series from the producer of
One
Schitt's
sec.
Creek.
Accept what is and let go of what was.
Alright, get rid of that. Hi, everyone. This is Hyper Turtle, and we are just getting to the end of our FSL season. We'll be wrapping up this week, then starting playoffs, maybe even starting those playoffs this week. Hello, Matheson. Always good to have you there. Alright. So tonight we have 2v2 matches galore. We have the team of Chrono Boost versus Polaris. Let me make sure I got that right. Yep. We have the team of Churchill's Dentist versus Anito. And we've also got a replay of Tsar versus Polaris. So we are just wrapping this stuff up. We are almost done with all of our 2v2 and 2v2 plus matches, and we also have one Code S match to go Friday. We're going to be seeing what we can do to get those playoffs up and running. You'll have to excuse me, I'm just a tiny bit under the weather. Either that or I'm allergic to BlizzCon. So we will find out soon enough. Let me see if anyone's ready just yet. Doesn't look like it, so we will be starting with the replays. This is Polaris versus Tsar, and their first map will be... Oh, let's see. Hold on. Bridge. Alright, we got Polaris checking in. Revenant Rage and Frieden. Oh boy. Yeah, Frieden looks like he's got his hands full a little bit. I know the feeling. My daughter had a pretty bad fever last night. Completely over it in the morning. And I think Matheson is watching KJ Freedom play. Alright, there they are. Alright, let's just bring him in. No need to worry about the stuff. Stream channel.
Oh.
Hello! Welcome to FSL.
Hey.
Oh, naturally, 2v2 matches are all the harder to organize because they're got twice as many people to try to get together. Exactly, which is why I'm glad we don't also feature Heroes of the Storm in this league. I've heard a lot of arguments about that more tournament organizers should take on StarCraft just because 1v1 stuff is a whole lot easier to organize than a lot of the other things going on these days. How's everyone doing?
Yeah.
We'll be taking a look at Polaris's match against Czar just a little bit later through a replay. But I would like to hear from everyone. I would like to, just go ahead and spitball. What do you think of the new patch? Have you been playing much together? Are you going to be peaking at BlizzCon or just saving yourself the disappointment?
Ooh. Is anyone else on that wants to speak up first? I don't want
You just spoke up, Frieden. You're on.
to. All right, it's me. Okay, so let me start with the patch.
Mm-hmm.
I've not played the newest patch much, and I haven't played much in general.
Fair enough.
But the new maps I really like. Every time I've gotten into a match and checked out the way the new maps are, I think they're really creative. I think they have a ton more space than the previous season, so I think there's a lot of potential. And at the bare minimum, I expect that the maps alone are going to have a lot of influence over some creative
really
play.
refreshing, and also just the 9 map pool. It sounded like a mistake at first, then all of a sudden it's like, why didn't they do this before?
Yeah.
And I think something a lot of people... go ahead.
I was gonna say, I get there's also like a bunch of balance changes. I'm random, so I feel like whenever there's balance changes, I don't ever get too upset.
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually pretty okay across the board. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and dig into them, but that on top of all the new maps, I think are gonna make for some refreshing play in the coming months.
Yeah, fair enough. I was gonna say, one thing a lot of people haven't brought up was they also switched StarCraft Remastered to a 9 map pool as well, so might be the way of the future, I don't know. And
then go for it, Aaron.
Yep. Revenant Ridge, you got some words for us?
And
I'm inviting people to party too.
Been watching some replays, like a lot of Flow recently, and there's some pretty clever plays you can make. And it's going to be really exciting to see what people come up with.
Okay. As for BlizzCon, I don't know, man. I haven't been paying attention much to BlizzCon. It's like
I've been
the first one in
blogging
a few years now.
Right? I've been blogging a bit. So yeah, they haven't had a BlizzCon since 2019. They had a BlizzCon line one year, and they were looking at having more of those where it was online only. Then they kind of looked at their own public relations, and they thought better of it. So it's interesting.
Well, I mean, let's see how it is under new management, and then there's some key figures that made Blizzard a little less cool over the past few years, and some of those figures look like they're on the way out. So let's see what the impact is in terms of Blizzard's overall
it's
PR.
Going to be interesting. I think Microsoft's influence at most will be maybe Phil Spencer will make an appearance during the opening ceremony or something, but I think it's a little too early for them to have really gotten anything rolling. They had no.
Dating myself? Is it dating myself if I say I feel more upbeat about Microsoft being involved with Blizzard than I do with Activision?
I think you'd be joining the club. Okay. I think almost everyone has been almost like, okay, these kinds of mergers where the big fish keeps buying everything else, buying the competition, is usually a bad thing, but I'll make an exception to this. So.
Yeah.
All right, Caliber.
Activision.
It's been a long series of scandals, let's say. So we'll leave it at that. I think there's going to be a whole lot of Warcraft stuff featured there. I do have the one thing that I noticed they did for StarCraft. One new T-shirt. So I will be wearing this tomorrow while I stream my reactions. All right, Polaris, welcome back.
It's good to be back.
Oh,
and yes, we've been playing some of the new maps in the rotation, and it's been great.
Yeah, the team's been especially interesting because it's more like it's new old maps. And I think some of them were not made with modern Legacy of the Void in mind, just because a lot of these team maps is really hard to take a third expansion, and that's almost essential in Legacy of the Void. But anyway, so there's the required chit chat. Let me see if I'm missing someone. Revenant Ridge. Let's see. Are you a barcode right now?
No.
Okay, let me see where you are. I don't see you on in-game yet.
Here, I'll message you. I've been sitting in menu.
Oh, there you are. Yep, I got it. Invite to party. So we will get started. First of all with Chrono Boost, are you feeling confident? That's what it all comes down to.
I don't know. Like,
Okay.
for me personally, like I told Frieden, I've had a lot going on, so like I haven't gotten the practice I've been really wanting to get, and where I'm already, underdog on a good day.
Well, you're one of the newcomers here. I think you've made enough of a splash yourself. Polaris, you pretty much ready to go? I know you at least were able to play a couple of your games recently.
Yeah, but we're not very prepared. We don't have a lot of overlapping free time, so...
Yeah, that can be the case. All right, so we are going to be starting on Netscape. Let me show everyone the map picks you made. Alright, so we got Nightscape first, then Heavy Artillery, and if we go the distance, we will be finishing up on Riscallion. Alright everyone, I'm going to be putting you in your separate team chats. Good luck, have fun, etc., etc.
Thank you.
Alright, everyone is separated. We will be setting up right now. Alright, we got Protoss and Terran versus Protoss and Random. Lobby. Alright, ready to go. Polaris was having a little bit of camera trouble, so we're just letting that go. Revenant Rage and Freedom on camera. Nightscape, some nice purple to go around. This is one of the more defensible maps early on. Alright. In the lower left, we have the blue Protoss. She is Instability. And her teammate, the Green Terran. He is Caliber C, also known as Tega, but together they are definitely Polaris. And their opponents. In the upper right, we have the light blue Protoss. He is Revenant Rage. And his teammate, the Zerg in the purple, he is Freedom. Together, they are the team of Chrono Boost. Alright, we are off. We have a light blue probe scoping around. No forage on the way, so I don't expect anything too goofy here. Interesting. Attacking the supply depot, but I think he can actually squeeze there. Can't he? It is hard to tell. Yeah, there's room. And we have the Protoss logo going down. One probe chased another. Overlords getting across the map. So, the naturals are pretty straightforward. Once you have the firepower to break through the rocks, you can take the gold. However, with Terran, there's always the option to just float a command center over there too, take it a little bit earlier. We have a couple routes towards each other's bases and some very far away expansions, which sometimes are tricky to scout. So far, no expansion from Revenant Rage. He does have double gateway up right now. Their opponent's taking the expansions in pretty standard time. Building on set. Oh, wait. Okay. I said there was nothing goofy going on. I was wrong. Never underestimate the power of the probe. Caliber C/Tega is sending a Reaper across the map. Hopefully going to get a look there. So, double gateway Robo. I'm guessing there's going to be a another gateway coming down here for fast warp-ins. On the part of instability, we have a Stargate on the way. So are we going to be seeing a lot of early aggression? I see a Roach Warren, so not really much in the way of a big Ling Rush or anything. Revenant Rage still has not expanded. Oh, here we go. Two gateways on site, and an extra pylon. He is not messing around here. He wants to get this done. He wants to get it done quick. Now, so far, his teammate Frieden has yet to make his move. Frieden, keep in mind, plays as random, so probably knows quite a few different rushes on all the races. So far, let's see, yeah, so far no visibility at all of this proxy on behalf of Polaris, so they are going to have to react very strongly to this. And what do we have? Factory, 2 barracks, no defensive structures. Yeah, no shield batteries, cannons, or bunkers just yet. We have the warp gates up, and the Roaches and Stalkers are making their way across the map. This Reaper, who is a little bit up in front, is going to get alerted right away. But he's not going to get alerted to just how heavy this push is going to be. Stalker Roach moving up. We have Marines, a Void Ray, an Adept, and a couple Stalkers in for defense. And there's an Engineering Bay, I guess partially forming a wall. Alright, here we go. That Void Ray, the Stalkers are going to have to take it down unless he gets some... He's only got one Ravager, so... Oh! Yeah, did not quite hit the Void Ray. Alright, a lot of damage coming in here. See the... Yeah, Sentry goes down. Oh, all shield overcharge manages to save that Void Ray. Here comes the Immortal. They are, like I said, not messing around. However, Revenant Rage already pretty low on supply right now, although some of that's because he never took natural. They're getting pushed back momentarily, but more Stalkers are on the way. Oh, I don't think they want to waste time on that Engineering Bay. They need to get some damage done as quickly as possible. They need to take out some enemy units and some workers. Alright, Void Rays can make very short work of some of these armored units. So far, Polaris is doing pretty well for themselves here. The Void Rays almost dead, but as long as they got their shields, they can keep recovering. They can also keep falling back to these shield batteries as well, so the effectiveness of this push very quickly dwindling. Another Engineering Bay is going up. Ling Roach Ravager and Stalker Immortal. Now, if Revenant Rage, if they don't, the team of Chrono Boost does not get a lot. Oh, they are wasting a lot of time on those buildings. They need to take care of these Void Rays, and there really aren't that many Stalkers. Not a lot of anti-air to go here. Driving things back. More stalkers coming out. So Caliber C doesn't have much going for him. Just mostly got medevacs, and there's nothing for them to heal aside from a few infantry here and there. Can they do it? Revenant Rage is finding a lot of his units getting distracted, attacking buildings right now. He needs to get those stalkers up where they can deal with those Void Rays. Alright, very good work getting some of those pylons and shield batteries out. There is a tank going down on the high ground. Those Ravagers are going to be very important there. They really want to stay further back. And the big story here is the longer this goes on, the more the team of Polaris is able to mine. Okay, they are able to drive an orbital command back and kill some workers. Very low econ game here. Frieden actually is keeping up some very good supply right now. He is ahead of everyone. But once again, he's got supply that doesn't do much against air. Okay, let's take a look at this orbital. Will it survive? Alright, good. It is getting repaired. We're up to 3 Void Rays. Those Stalkers need to just constantly be focusing those Void Rays down. Oh, one of them does go down. These Marines... The Marines and the Medevacs never seem to be out at the same time here. Void Ray is doing loads of bonus damage against anything armored, and that siege tank on the high ground is going to make this very difficult with all these armored ground units. Ooh, Marines kind of running off on their own, but they get away. Instability has almost caught up to Frieden as far as supply goes. There's really no transition going on here as far as the team of Chrono Boost goes. Just more and more Stalkers, more and more Stalker Immortal, Roach Ravager, Ling. Here we go. Siege tank sieges. Siege tanks are excellent defense against just this kind of thing, especially if you can keep something in front of it. E.T. Pone Home has a very nice, I think that's a poisonous snake hat. Not sure, but it's scary. And here's something else that's scary. Void Rays and tanks working together. The Revenant Rage has started his expansion. That's pretty late along here. We're at the 9-minute mark now. Right now, Frieden's still with supply lead, but I mean, a big thing that's lacking, anti-air. I don't believe he even has a lair up yet. Oh, he is mutating one right now. There is a, okay, here. Moving them back. If they can get rid of these proxy buildings, then they've got a very safe foothold. And once again, the Void Ray is very much making sure to stay where the Stalkers aren't, then moving in. Oh, we have the recall. I think this rush is over. And that's a very intimidating army that's chasing after them right now. Hydra Den has begun. But Instability hasn't invested that heavily in Void Rays. I mean, 3 out, a 4th on the way. Ooh! Did get a little bit of bile hits there. Revenant Rage, very behind on supply compared to the rest. Instability shooting past the 100 mark. Here we go, Fire Beam Exchange, tanks are sieging. And there's the Guardian Shield too. Ooh. So this looks very similar, just on the opposite side of the map right now. Revenant Rage has been saturating his natural. And we do have Hydras coming out, and a little bit of time just to take their frustrations out on those rocks. But yeah, look, at the armies aren't quite together. They want to move back to that high ground. Instability in Caliber C. The team of Polaris, almost nothing in production right now. They are dead focused on making this retaliation count. Here come the tanks. Once they siege, they're going to be able to keep doing quite a lot of damage. Well, there we go. Oh, we have the GG. Polaris has taken this. Surviving the early rush, and then just plowing ahead with the counterattack. Say that was a case where more had to be done right away. Especially just a lot of attacks that were being wasted on those structures. It definitely kept it going for a while, though. Alright, next map will be heavy artillery. Oh. We've been asked for a 5-minute break. Frieden, if you were watching, yeah, he still had a kid in his lap when he was first logging on. Uh-huh. There we go. I've brought up many times, I was playing quite a bit of Legacy of the Void when my first child was born, and yeah, I had to be ready to surrender a lot. That's why I favored team games, because at least there was a chance of everyone taking my resources and following through. How do we want to do this? Do we want to put a video up? Or do we want to... EE's unit efficiency appears to be lower compared to Sunrise and KJ. Yeah, I think I might go ahead and cast the first of my replays in the meantime. Cast the first map of... Oh, okay. Never mind, he doesn't think it will be that long. Little Zerglings, people. They need attention. Ew. And I think Matheson is still commenting on on some matches that KJ Freedom's playing. So, yeah. Back to BlizzCon. Here, I'm gonna bring myself up on the screen here. Hey everyone, it's me, Hyper Turtle. So, yeah, it's been interesting. The last actual BlizzCon, there were the big global finals, which was sadly not the most balanced thing. Night of Swarm, Swarm host was especially dominant, and a lot of casters were forced to kind of try their best to tiptoe around that fact without sounding too negative. Other than that, I mean, there was a little panel where they talked about some of the comics and extended stories they'd done. And the story with Stepman, the comic series with one of the war chests, was, what was it, This Sacred Land. And they got to talk about that a little bit, but the main StarCraft thing was just a pylon show, and I used the air quotes because it was just Artosis, and he kind of rapidly made his way past, what was it, the people who did Alpha Star, Carbot, who had recently been involved with that StarCraft Remastered skin set, and the other was Kevin Dong talking about Arcturus Mates as a co-op commander. Okay, enough of me droning on. We are all set, so we are gonna create this match. Okay, got everyone here. We want to make sure that everyone's ready, though. And let me switch this around again. You're on heavy artillery. I'm just making sure that everyone's set to go. Okay, let's do this. Heavy artillery. This is one. It's got a pocket expansion, but only for one player. Start by updating. Now, in the lower left again, we have the blue Protoss. She is Instability. And her teammate, the green Terran, he is Caliber C. Together they are up one map and they are Polaris. And their opponents, we have the yellow Protoss. He is Revenant Rage. And his teammate, once again, ended up as a purple Zerg, the random player known as Freedom. Together, they are Chrono Boost. Alright, let's see what we got. This time, Instability, and making sure to get a look right away. Honestly, not exactly an early scout, but definitely an important scout. Revenant Rage also making his probe conspicuous. We know that it was up to something last time. Ooh, Instability taking expansion. And always with that Protoss insignia, right? I believe that comes from Instability. Usually there's a border with the player color. Oh man. Alright, I gotta say, when you see Revenant Rage send a probe, you better watch out. He actually did get an FTV kill, and did a pretty good job to land that command center, but the probe goes down for the trouble. And what tech do we have? Nothing too unusual so far, although the Roach Warren's a little bit early. I would very much like to know if the team of Chrono Boost is going to be starting with a pretty heavy-duty rush again. Sorry, I was talking about my own daughter, and yeah, she needed a couple things for her iPad. Robo technology yet again, and also another proxy pylon. Let's see, do they see it? They do not yet. So yes, I think this is going to be starting very similarly to the last match. I think we're going to be having another Stalker Roach rush. They've found that that's comfortable for them, and they will be doubling down. Now, the entrance, a little bit similar, less high ground to fall back on, I believe, but they might be having the same issue if they put down, if Tega Caliber C puts down a wall here. Oh man, already moving ahead. But I don't think those roaches in the raptor have a lot of backup. They might find themselves cornered right away. That immortal doing a lot of damage. One ravager, one roach going down. He's also leading them to where the proxy is. So no, I guess they still haven't seen it. But after the last game, they know that this is a pretty big possibility. And look at that. Those immortals serving very much a similar purpose as the Void Rays last time, just wreaking havoc against armored units. Instability quit to pull the hurt stalkers back. We do have a shield battery there. Oh, that was a very good bile on that immortal. Caliber C getting his medevacs, his upgrades, moving along. And this time, Frieden is already going for a lair. Slow Zerglings joining the party. We do not have a lot of upgrades. We do have Stim and Warpgate on both sides. Yeah, these immortals are doing a lot of work. And here, if that immortal, yeah, Revenant Rage's immortal goes down. And this proxy already overrun, not nearly the staying power of the previous match here. And this is going to set back this is going to set Revenant Rage back for pylons and gateways as well. There's, how many units does he have now? 4 stalkers, 1 immortal. And we got 8 roaches on their side. And once again, after defending that push, team of Polaris is immediately taking the opportunity to move ahead. Now, these immortals are where the real danger is. The amount of damage they do against armored units and structures cannot be underestimated. Love the Terran music. Also, once again, taking down the rocks by their base. I don't think they're going to be able to finish that, though. And in fact, the fact that they did an attack command on it meant they didn't immediately respond to being attacked. Alright, those Zerglings go for this round. They go down in very short order. Stalkers and Immortals packing a punch here. Oh, and once again, a siege tank to form a nice little pin on this attack. Got a medevac that, I think by accident, just has 1 Marine inside it. Oh, 2 medevacs that each have 1 Marine inside it. Gotta be careful. Yeah, he notices. Caliber C knows what he's doing. And I think they've decided that they just want to try to expand their lead. Frieden does have a 3rd. And again, Caliber C is getting 1 roll in as well. So we're going to see a drop here. We have a robotic support bay going down for instability. Oh, and here they come. The tanks are not sieged right now. Are they going to take advantage? Can they even see each other? Just a little bit, but yeah, they did pass right by each other and got vision. So that could have been a good opportunity to actually try to jump on top of Caliber C's units. So right now, this offense is all Frieden. Revenant Rage is Stalkers and Immortals staying back. Blink being researched. And I would like to see what's going to be produced in the robotics facility now for instability. Will it be... She's already got Immortals, but are we going to see Colossus or are we going to see Disruptor Tech? Upgrades going down for instability. About halfway along for Frieden. The armors are just posturing each other. You usually don't want to move in when the tanks are already sieged like that. However, we have a very good opportunity to do a surround here. Right now, yeah, the armies just aren't together. Polaris keeping a lot closer to each other. They're watching each other's back. And we've got Colossus Tech, by the way, coming out on behalf of instability. Hydra Tech from Frieden, with upgrades almost wrapping up. +1 ranged and +1 armor. Thought I'm supposed to see a countdown for those here, but I guess not. So far, since that initial push, we're just seeing everyone just kind of stare each other down. However, well, I mean, Frieden once again, just like last game, has supply advantage, but also Revenant Rage, ways behind. We have a lot of Ravagers being morphed here. Ooh, very bold. Putting a Nexus right up front. Looks like Frieden. Yeah, Frieden's Zerg, not Revenant Rage, but he is again going for the round. Oh man, bunch of Zerglians and Hydralisks just being sacrificed because they were moved at the same time as the rest of the army when they were not, starting from the same place. And Frieden is also way ahead of Revenant Rage's army. Polaris and Caliber C getting a lot of damage in. Look at those Marines, stutter stepping ahead. All the meanwhile, the flank being protected by those siege tanks, so I would have to say that Polaris came out of that match the better, and they are still hunting Protoss units down. I think both teams are having a little bit of trouble with this area here, where there's this hill, but multiple ramps and paths around, so you have to be very careful that your army stays together and doesn't take different routes. I've definitely had that bite me. Marines are healing up. And Caliber C's command center just kind of floating there for now. Lots more upgrades being researched. Frieden is at Hive Tech. He's getting Zerglian attack speed, Carapace, and +1 ranged, and Ultralisk attack. That's interesting. Ultralisks don't always do the best against Immortals, but there aren't that many of them out. Just 3 of them. And still, after all of that, they end up pretty much in the same spot they are before. However, Instability and Caliber C are very much running away with the score right now. They have a lot of supply on their hands, and they are continuing to expand. This base almost upgraded to an orbital again. Another Colossus on the way. Let's take a look at the upgrades here. We got +2/+2 ranged on behalf of Frieden. +1 armor for Revenant Rage. And yeah, +1/+1 for both the ground units of Instability and the infantry of Tega, Caliber C. So I think the longer this goes, the more of an advantage they're going to have. Caliber C is almost maxed out now, whereas Revenant Rage is still about below 100. He is getting bold there. He's taking the gold base. If that goes unscouted, he can really keep his he can keep his economy building up. Ultras on the way. This is such an interesting spot here. Like I said, you can very easily find your army kind of splitting up and taking different paths, but this is also an excellent place to try to flank your opponent. However, they're going to see that with these buildings that are on the low ground. A lot of expanding going on behalf of Polaris. Right now, Chrono Boost has not been able to keep up. Frieden, however, very healthy supply count for him. Bit of long-distance mining on behalf of the probes. We really have is just 2 pairs of death balls. Kind of just seeing who's going to make the first move. There goes Hallucination. Polaris wants to know what they're up against here. Ooh, and they're probably moving ahead right away, too. And there's Frieden's drones. I think, yeah, he's going to try to take down the mineral wall. And a couple of scans going around, but they still do not know about the gold base. They do know about this cheeky mining towards their walls. So they might be putting some defenses there. Revenant Rage, alright. He's got the gold all saturated. This might help him catch up quite a bit. So many upgrades being efficiently researched here. Got 3-3 being researched for Frieden's ranged and armor. However, yeah, if he's going to be investing in Zerlin and Ultralisks, he's probably going to want +1 melee as well. More and more scans going down. They want to know what's happening. There's also Overlords keeping an eye on elite spots too, so both teams doing an excellent job keeping an eye on each other's expansions. Oh, and once again, some of these units getting ahead of the army, and Revenant Rage is not together with Frieden right now. Oh, this is such a scary Marine siege tank army right here. And they can also take advantage of the high ground with those siege tanks. Oh, here we go. The Protoss are clashing with each other, blue versus yellow, but Frieden coming in for the reinforcements. Caliber C sieging his tanks. This is a lot of potential for DPS. I don't know how long even Ultras can last with this. Oh, lots of units going down for Chrono Boost. I mean, granted, they're trading a bit, but the supply advantage clearly on behalf of Polaris. And siege tanks leapfrogging forward, getting ready to siege again. They are going to tighten their grip. Banelion's here, but I don't think... Oh, he does have Banelion speed at least, but they might not even get a chance to hatch. Will they? They do, but they go down soon afterwards. Just a handful of Marines end up getting battered there. Yep, we have the GG. Polaris has taken the series. Alright, I will be getting everyone in right now.
Beat their art.
Alright, congratulations to Polaris.
Hey, congrats, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank
so,
you.
Very much a strategic decision, both those games, going for Proxy, Roach Ravager, Immortal Stalker, right?
Yeah.
And then you were definitely able to keep the pressure going a lot better early on. But second match, not as much. One of the big things I noticed with the first map, just got to be very careful that your stalkers don't waste too many attacks against structures. That was one of the big things. Half of Revenant Rage's army kept getting distracted, but you definitely managed to do a very scary push there. Polaris, did you see that one coming?
No, not
We saw it coming in both games. I think I scouted it a little earlier in the second game.
Yeah, I
But
definitely noticed that.
the Roach Warren and the Robo were very dead giveaways.
Yeah,
so.
even if you don't know where it's coming from, and I think that's a very efficient way to go about it, because you can spend a lot of time trying to figure out where the proxy is, but you scout your opponent's base, you end up with a good way to even tell if there's a proxy to begin with. So, and definitely the Void Rays were very handy the first game, but those Immortals the second game, even more brutal. So we are...
I mean, from our side, I think we've not actually never tried that before. But I think we did okay. There's a lot of room to grow. And then the second game, I got Zerg again, and so I was like, you know what? Let's try it again. And so we made minor adjustments, and so I think the game went a lot longer, the second game, than we had thought.
Yeah, you were able to defend. You were able to transition out of that push a lot better than you did the first game.
Yeah, I do think about halfway through, Aaron and I were on Discord, okay, well, what do you want to do now? I don't know.
I didn't think we'd make it this far.
Yeah, one thing with that second map that I noticed was affecting both teams, that high ground, that's little bit beyond the naturals can be very rough, because if you don't keep a very close eye on your armies can end up splitting up and taking opposite routes through that high ground.
Yeah.
And I gotta give.
Be able to use that to our advantage. Yeah. Like so.
I was actually going to say that for Frieden. There were some spots where you did an excellent job flanking the opponents, and that's one of the things.
Where I really didn't.
Some where they didn't get all the way.
Yeah.
And then, Frieden, I know that you probably may be needed with the little Zergling, right?
What's that?
So, you got a little Zergling to take care of.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to drag the interview on too long. We've also got another match we're getting ready for. But
cool.
Definitely congratulations and the team of Chrono Boost. Yeah, I definitely, especially with Revenant Rage, I've definitely seen some very clear improvement over the course of the season. So keep up the good work going forward.
We'll keep working on it.
All right.
I'm about to hop off, but thanks, guys. Thanks for casting.
Good night to all.
Always looking forward to it because I always learn a lot. So thanks.
All right, take care. Bye.
See you guys.
Good night.
Okay, cool.
All right, so I am told that Deepu in the team of Churchill's Dentist should be available about 10 minutes or so. Okay, we've got more people ready. Next match, by the way, that's going to be Churchill's Dentist versus Anita. So once again, definitely some very different time zones. I believe Anito is a team that's based in the Philippines. And I'm going to have to ask them whether it's either very late or very early over there, but I know it's one of the two compared to me. To the first map of... Okay, so I've got to stop. I don't know where I got the idea that it's so stylish to, after I hit the enter key, to kind of pop my right hand up, as if it's a big exclamation point on the end of it. But I've got to remember I'm on camera when I'm trying to look cooler like that. All right. Anyway, let's go into the replays. We have Polaris versus Zar. They are both very skilled teams, and both teams where the members know each other very well. Harus and Lighthood are brothers, and as you just saw, Caliber C and Instability, very long-time friends there. So, we will get started. In the upper left, we have the red Protoss. He is Harus. And his teammates, the Terran in the blue, he is Lighthood. Together they are the team of Zar. Their opponents in the bottom left, we have the light blue Protoss. She is Instability. And her teammates, also known as Tega, the Terran in the yellow. He is Caliber C. And together they are the team of Polaris. Alright, so saw Polaris earlier. You know what they like to do? You know that Instability just can't resist putting the Protoss logo on the ramp. Now this is Emerald City. You got two ways into the natural, both a little bit choked, a little bit choke pointed by those rocks. Instability moving in for a look. And we have Harus doing the same. Both of them walling off. Ooh, pretty heavy duty wall here. And how much Protoss structures do we have? I guess 2 gate, 1 cyber here. And 2 additional barracks going down as well. So what do we got with that? That's going to be 3 barracks. So I would definitely say that Team Azar focusing way more on army than economy right now, although... And there's Lighthood chasing the probe out. I do not think it's going to be escaping. Caliber C and Instability are getting the expansions out. Another probe goes down to another Reaper. And we have multiple Reapers heading over here on behalf of Lighthood. See what kind of mischief they can cause. They're checking out the gold base, I believe. Wait, are these? Yeah, these are both Lighthoods. Tricky when one player plays blue and one player plays light blue. Let's see how well he controls it. He does manage to get one of the Reapers back. Oh, he is. That's a lot of risk he's taken there. But very good micro. He's going to want to stop and let them heal, because that adapt or the Reaper... Oh, okay. Double adapt. Triple Reaper. Very much going on the offensive here. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to actually make it through here. That's completely walled off. Instead, I think they're just going to gang up on that Stalker. And down it goes. Okay. Although, oh, look at this. Hop up. Working on taking out that Marine. I love the micro on these Reapers. Light Hood, just perfect to keep in, well, most of the moving Reapers back. And there we go. Boing. Not units that do well taking out buildings very quickly. Now, Instability has a Robo and 2 more gateways coming out. And I think the team Polaris can take their time. They know that the shields on that Nexus aren't going to go down especially quickly, but at some point they... Yeah, here we go. Handful of Marines and Stalkers taking action, but there's reinforcements coming on behalf of Zara as well. Couple of Stalkers joining the party. And once again, you got to decide, can they get that up? They do get that up. That's... You don't hear about Supply Depot Micro very much, but that was a great job getting the unit through them and then popping it up again. We are at the point where, contrary to what I was saying before, that Nexus is likely to just go down. And the team of Tsar has expanded behind this, so this is not an all-in. They are working on saturating. Oh, here we go, those Light Hood Reapers. So, yeah, this push has definitely paid off for now. There is no mining going on the either natural of Polaris. Now, Light Hood getting the Marine expansions in. He's going to be transitioning out of these Reapers. Oh, wow. Look, there were all those Marines and one Marauder set to meet them, but he still manages to get them out. Stalker not so lucky. And this is good. Not only can he hurt the economy, but he can also get a very good idea what he's up against. I'm not sure how many of these Reapers will be able to get out of here, though. However, he is taking down quite a few workers. Alright, that's it for the Reaper harass. Marines moving across now. And I don't know why... Oh, it's a replay. That's why I'm not seeing the... why I'm not seeing the count of worker kills. Okay, Protoss are going to clash now. Karus makes the only decision he can. He starts backing away. However, excellent offensive blink. Instability gets quite a few extra kills. And we have Marines going down as well. This contain has been broken very much. Just like last game, we see the team of Polaris making their way across for a counter. Right now, despite, right now Harus and Lighthood do have a supply lead, but a lot of that's the workers. That tank's sieging way too close to the Stalkers. The Stalkers snipe it and manage to blink back. And we have a siege tank getting ready to, well, I guess it doesn't siege just yet. Whole line of infantry and Stalkers just pummeling each other. However, the team of Tsar does have that overcharged battery, which stayed active for almost the whole overcharge. The tank has siege, it gets sniped down, back and forth, and now Polaris is going to have to back off as well. Instability very much on top of her blinks, both to catch up on retreating armies and to get her own armies away. And Caliber C, taking a nice point, but little does he know, we got a dropship moving across on the other side. With siege tank and some stalkers following after, they're going to be taking the stairs down, so I think they're going for a surround right now. If you're going to be up against siege tanks, it definitely helps to attack from more than one direction. Medevac's just kind of hanging out there for now. Ooh, and that siege tank takes a little bit of extra damage. So in the meantime, the team of Anito is ready, and I believe the team of Churchill's Dentist is as well. So we'll be taking a break from this after this map is done. Look at, the old the old phrase, look at the supply. Light Hoods at almost double what Instability is at. Harus is at almost double what Caliber C is at. And taking down those rocks, very handy for these reinforcements. I'm assuming that this medevac here is going to finally make its move at the same time that this attack hits up front. We do have a couple of siege tanks on the high ground, however they are not sieged yet. Instability is aware of the likelihood of drops here. Ooh, yeah, the army has to step back after the tanks were sieged. Upgrades, we've got 1-1 for Caliber C. Blink for all the stalkers on both sides. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Blinking and dropping on top of those siege tanks simultaneously. That is such a well-coordinated play. I love it. So much damage being done. Granted, a lot of being taken too, but boy. Oh. And once again, I have to remember this is a replay, not a live game, so the battle report thing does not work. However, if we're going to rewatch something, I want to rewatch this. This was amazing. Such an effective offensive move here. Alright, well, we're almost to where I accidentally rewound from. Instability down to 44 supply. And look at this, all this time. They're in the process of taking the gold. They have thirds being saturated already. Tsar has their lead, and they are bringing it further and further. Please update scores in game. This one is the first match this game. Alright, here we go. Drops, this time with Liberator support. And you better believe that Harus and Lighthood are not going to back off while they're doing this. I thought they'd be taking more advantage of the chaos in the main, but look at this. That factory is going to be going down. And these Marines are on top of things. Very little damage done by those Marines who are siege tanks, but all this time, there is destruction being wrought in the main. The Marines were distracted the structures momentarily, but they do clear up even more stalkers. Yeah, Cruz is keeping an eye on things with that observer. So, as I said, after this map, we will be switching to a live game for a little bit, and then finishing up Game 2 after that, and possibly Game 3. Curus is getting Colossus tech out, almost done with Thermal Lance, has at least one Colossus with it, so they are ready to do what they need to against these Marines. And Caliber C, seeing if he can take a third. Look at this. Look at this gold being mined. The lead just keeps going further and further. 161 and 137 supply versus 99 and 48. And this command center will not find somewhere safe to land. Taking down the rocks, they can stream more through, or just leaving it. No problem there. And all this time, we have these two medevacs that are ready to drop as soon as the attention is drawn to the front. There we go, back to the rocks. And yeah, that's being focused down. I mean, those... Oh, gotta coordinate. This time they gotta move together. Unfortunately, Lighthood's army, yeah, lost a lot of infantry here, but all that time, dropping more right into the base, just before a couple of those missile turrets completed. Colossus doing all this extra damage right now. They're gonna have to back up, but all this time, this two-pronged attack is taking down even more of the structures in the base of Caliber C. When you got this kind of lead, you can definitely afford to throw something away here and there. This command center just kind of sitting here on its own. Finally going to get the cleanup, but the damage very much already done. Let's take a look. 61 and 85 workers versus 21 and 38. Look, the red and blue just flooding across the map. Light hoods, production all over the place. Upgrades, Marines, Marauders, tanks, not missing a beat. Curtis also getting ready to add some disruptors to the mix. Does he have Storm? He does not have Storm yet. And he's not researching either, so I think... Wait, does he have... Horus. Oh, upgrades. Yes, sorry, Horus does have Storm. False alarm there. He very much has Storm. Just brought up the wrong tab. Okay, so yeah, this is probably going to be it. Colossus, Stalkers, Archons, Marines, Siege Tanks, and being joined by the Disruptors on top of it, we have the GG. The Team Azor takes Game 1. But now it's time to step aside for a different matter here. We are going to get... Alright, here we go. We are going to get our live teams together. Just enable everyone. Good evening, 2v2ers.
Hey guys, good evening.
Hi. Hello.
Alright, so we are going to be, well, wrapping up a little bit more. You guys are in Codas, not Codas, 2v2 plus. And I think we're still missing one from the video. Is that great? Yeah, here we go. All right. So we've already seen some pretty creative 2v2 plays off of Deepu. Deepu, you don't have to tell if you don't want to, but are you planning to... Yep, have you figured out which race you're going to play as yet?
I think we're playing Zerg. I had a bit of a plan, but my teammate had to reel me in a bit in the pre-game chat.
A little bit too much creativity?
Yeah, we'll see what gets done, but I'm sure it'll be blessed. I'm sure we got something ready.
Sure thing. And Anito, you got a plan?
Win.
It's alright if you don't.
Win.
I like it. Let's see, first map here. Let me bring up the maps just for a moment. We're going to be doing Nightscape and then Emerald City, and then Riskalion if it goes that far. This is really interesting because the team maps have changed so much on the ladder to, you know, some real, well, shall I say, retro maps. So, just, yeah, I'm pretty worn out here. How about I just ask you guys if you have anything interesting to say?
No, I think I'm ready. And good luck.
Let's go.
I find that interesting. Okay, here. First of all, let me get everyone to the lobby.
Let's go.
Invite. And invite. Alright, I'm gonna... Okay, some of you already beat me to it. Let me bring the rest of you to your individual chats. This should be very interesting, especially on behalf of Neutrophil and Deepu, as they've had some especially crazy strategies in the past. But like you say, sometimes you got to go a little bit more down to earth. Great mod. Let me get myself off the camera. So Nightscape, fairly straightforward. Interesting, last time we never saw anyone take the gold. When it was Chrono Boost versus Polaris. What do we have? So, there we go. All right, the team of Anito is ready. All right, team of Churchill's Dentist is ready. Let's do this. Oh, wait. Greg got kicked out. Oh, there we go. Okay. Trying to get Gray into the lobby. For some reason, it's not quite going. Gray has been plagued by quite the internet. Okay, here. Remake. This is what you all came here for, right? The excitement of trying to get everyone into one match. Okay. So what we got here, Zerg and Protoss versus Zerg and Terran. Neutrophil always does the HF before the GL. Gotta be different. But speaking of Neutrophil, in the lower left, we have the purple Protoss. He is Neutrophil. And his teammates. The pink Zerg. He is Depu. And together they are Churchill's Dentist. And their opponents in the upper right, we have the red Terran. He is DLS Mizel. And his teammates, the Zerg in the orange. He is Gray. And together they are Anito. Alright. We have Neutrophil taking a peek inside the enemy bases. Overlords gradually making their way across. The current score is not given in this conversation. Yeah, well, right now current score is 0-0. Ooh, right away we have Gray sending Zerglings across the map. I believe this has been pretty standard for him. Usually likes to see if he can get just a little bit done. And then we also have a Zergling chasing off the probe. And that probe's going to find himself cornered, not being controlled. Yep, he goes down. How many Zerglings we got? 10 Zerglings on behalf of Gray. Meanwhile, his teammate, DLS Mazel, is just getting a Reaper going. Ooh, look at that, look at that! Doesn't quite manage to squeeze past, but these Zerglings are at least doing some shield damage. And we have Deepu responding in kind with his own Zerglings, chasing the orange ones off. Comes a Reaper from DLS Mazel. And a bunker in the back. I didn't even notice this, but I think it's just the SCV inside there. We got fire, and where there's fire, there's gonna be smoke. Oh! Reaper did get in there. And the SCV repairing it. Meanwhile, down here, we have a big Zealot Zergling fight, so the team at Churchill's Dentist is doing everything they can to be very, very annoying. And still, nothing that can really catch up to that Reaper. I think this... Oh, the Zealot goes down. Doesn't quite kill the Reaper. Just a little bit more, a little bit... That Reaper does manage to escape. What a headache. Zerglings chewing on the hatchery. Reapers using their tiny guns against the Nexus. Alright, Zerglings are chased off. These Reapers, meanwhile, hop back up, take a little bit more damage, and look at once again. We have a Reaper that's just very far in the red. Zerglings managed to finish it off, the other one goes back home. Where are we at? We got Stargate Tech almost ready from Neutrophil. Stimpack started on the other side of the map for DLS Mazel. Both teams with their naturals taken. I don't think this Queen is quite going to be able to catch up with the Overlord. And it turns tail. Number of Zerglings from Depu just kind of moving ahead. And look at this early infestation position. Is it possible that Depu is going to get very, very annoying with Swarm Hosts? I see a Nidus coming up, and let me tell you, there is a lot of spots for Swarm Hosts to send their locusts out from. Hydra Den coming up from Grey. Both teams trying to take down the rocks so they can get easy access to their goals. And yep, 4 Swarm Hosts on the way. And this space right here, that is going to be very vulnerable to Swarm Host harassment, as is the golds. Deepu knows what he's had luck with in the past, and he is going to make the most of it. So charge. Almost got combat shields done for TLS Mazel. And Grey getting his Hydra attack going. Oh, not even over the dead space. We have a Nidus Worm going down right in the gold. Right where this command center is making its way towards. Neutrophil going Overlord hunting, but I'm more curious what's going to happen here. I do not see anything coming out. Yeah, he is not going to... Oh, yes. Yeah, those Swarm Hosts are in... Oh, the Swarm Hosts get trapped. Now, this is gonna depend on a lot. Those Marines and Marauders aren't going to match up very well against the Locust. Those Swarm Hosts have nowhere to go unless another Nidus Worm opens up. And Neutrophil not letting up. He is sending his... He is sending those Phoenixes out to hunt down more Overlords that not only can deprive Deepu of supply, also takes away some of what he can use to spot and find places to put down these Nidus Worms. You have to have visibility of where you're dropping those Nidus Worms, or popping them out, whatever you want to say. And Neutrophil, classic Neutrophil, he has a corner base. Wait, Neutrophil... I am completely mixed up here. Neutrophil was hunting Grey's Overlords, so yeah, that's... If anything, these Phoenixes are allowing Deepu more vision. So, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes these colors are hard to follow. There we go. We're getting more Swarm Hosts. Locust just about to launch straight towards that gold. All the meanwhile, these Phoenixes are killing Metavats. Yep, DLS Mazel does lift up the orbital, but he is being deprived of a lot of mining, whereas meanwhile, Deepu is getting quite a few workers on his own goals. Look at these Roach and Hydras. Roach Hydra ball from Grey. Definitely very effective against Phoenixes. Swarm Hosts pop out again. Almost ready for another wave of Locusts. And I guess this is just an extra place for Deepu's Locusts to pop out of, need be for defense. And with this ball of Hydras, oh, look at that storm. Neutrophil definitely has the tech going here. Drops another storm. And Deepu's Locusts can also do very well on defense. The team of Anito is aware of that corner base. Very bold. There's a lot of Phoenixes here, and a Nidus about to pop. He lost Mazel, working hard to take expansions. Will he get the cancel here? No, he has to focus on keeping these guys alive. The Vikings... Oh, the Vikings, the Bio, and the Medivacs, everything gets slaughtered. So right now, Gray is ahead of everyone with supply. He lost Mazel, lagging pretty far behind, especially after all those air and bio units he just lost. And from Deepu, we have Broodlord tech, where at the same time, Neutrophil is getting ready to put out Dark Templar. Very tricky. There's a lot of threats that can come from a lot of directions right now. Gray is putting down his Spire, and right now, it's very clever with Deepu. He's just putting Nidus Worms all over the place, so he can just hop over to places immediately with his ground units anyway. Here come the Broodlords, and we have this High Templar, Gateway, and Archon army. Locusts get launched, and Gray has to back up. DLS Mazel getting some reinforcements over here, but there's not much, and those Vikings are going to be very vulnerable as they're trying to target down the Broodlords. Now look at those, Phoenixes right on top of them. Siege tanks are definitely helping here, as long as the Broodlords don't get within range of them. Storm's going down. Oh, double storm on top of the Hydralisk and the Roaches. Neutrophil is very good at backing his units away. Right now, we're just going to see a little bit of snowballing going on here. And look at even doing some more swarm host harassment on the gold base. DLS Mazel has just not been able to find his footing. Lots of corruptors going on, taking out Phoenixes and then moving in on the Broodlords, who will not have any way to fight back. The Gray definitely finding a good counter here, but now I do not believe he has a Greater Spire, does he? No. So these corruptors are not going to be able to do very much against ground. That hidden base from Neutrophil very much paying off the long run here. And the Locusts that just keep attacking that gold base. It's interesting because it is pretty secure position at first glance, but if there's air being used against it, it's very vulnerable, including from Locusts being launched right from over here. DLS Mazel going over, seeing if he can clear out this Nidus Worm finally. Until then, he cannot land this orbital. And Gray, double expanding. They want to try to catch up. Churchill's Dennis definitely has a lead, but not an insurmountable lead. Oh, here come the Zerglings. Here come the Zerglings. Yeah, they do have Adrenal, so they can do a lot of damage in a very brief amount of time. Very shortly, that orbital will finally be able to land. And we are getting Robo Bay, Robotic Support Bay, coming from Neutrophil. And more Broodlords coming from Deepu. Here we go. The team of Anito going very hard on economic expansion right now, putting down bases anywhere they can. Excellent creep highway on behalf of Neutrophil. And along with the speed bonus, that also gives visibility of a lot of what their opponents are trying. Neutrophil moving forward. And those Corruptors, Corruptors can very easily get changed into Broodlords as soon as they take care of those Corruptors on the other side. Broodlord Corruptor coming from both sides, actually. Oh, excellent storms down in the bio and the siege tanks. DLS Mazel just can't get a break in this game. Lot of Broodlords. Those Corruptors are a big threat against them, though. On both sides. But right now, it's Grey's Broodlords that are very much being targeted down. More storms taking down the anti-air. Vikings coming in. And right now, it's a difficult focus because they've got to try to take out ground and air at the same time. Vikings can land and attack ground units. Corruptors can change into Broodlords and attack ground units, but it's not a quick process, and they can be very vulnerable in one state or the other. Oh, look at this. Corruptors taking out even more of Grey's Broodlords. Still, I mean, Deepu ahead of everyone in supply, but once again, not insurmountable. And both sides have the issue that a lot of these units can only attack ground or air, at least at any given time. Stalkers are the big difference maker when it comes to that, as are Archons and High Templar. Deepu moving ahead with a lot of Zerglings. They catch the SCVs just as they're being transitioned to the other base. Oh.
Your units are taking damage.
And I guess Anito is not aware of that corner base.
Yeah, that geyser is done.
Loco announcer. More storms just blanketing the biome. And Deepu never letting up with these Zerglings. Just attacking anywhere he can. I'm just impressed. Grey and DLS Mazel have been at least doing pretty well catching up with supply, but more of these run-bys are gonna make that more difficult with each time. A lot of gas in DLS Mazel's bank too. I wouldn't mind seeing some ghosts from him. Meanwhile, both members of Churchill's Dentist have quite a bit of minerals and gas in the bank. Broodlords very much being the big target in all of this. Heavy number of Immortals from Neutrophil. And he has both units that can do a lot of damage and take a lot of damage too. Very much the story of this game is just trying to figure out how to handle these air units and these ground units all at once. There is just so much opportunity for damage, so much DPS. And Neutrophil's base, which has been mining all this time, is almost mined out now. Has been hidden all along. And he even has one in the lower right. We have the GG. Churchill's Dentist takes game 1. Wow. I think Churchill's Dentist had the upper hand for most of it. They just always found the opportunity to do damage throughout. Anito was able to keep up pretty well overall, but the losses just kept mounting up. And then you had Neutrophil just taking more and more bases. Let's take a look at the maps again. Emerald City will be the next map. We are bringing the players into the lobby right now. Alright, everyone's enthusiastic here. And away we go. You can practice against the AI to improve your strategies. Sure can. In the lower right, we have the purple Protoss. He is Neutrophil. And his teammates, the pink Zerg, he is called Deepu. And together they are Churchill's Dentist. Their opponents, in the upper left, we have the red Terran. He is DLS Mizell. And his teammates, the orange Zerg. He is Gray. And together, they are the team of Enito. Alright, Churchill's Dentist has the lead 1-0. Now, once again, I mean, there's dead airspace here, but not something that's quite as easy to abuse with swarm hosts. 2 entrances to the naturals, and again, we have a gold base, but instead of being kind of a weird pocket, this one's just way out there. So I'm very curious what Deepu has up his sleeve. I think Neutrophil is probably going to go with something similar to last time. Excuse me. Probably some good air and gateway. And that leaves DLS Missile and Gray. I'd say, once again, I wouldn't be surprised if they went for a little bit of an early push. I think that tends to be what they favor. Neutrophil taking his natural, but so far, DLS Mizell is just going up to factory. So, we're going to have to see how Enito plays. That last match had to be kind of frustrating. They're taking a look around. They know that Neutrophil's expanded. Alright. All naturals being taken, and ooh, Deepu. Early Roach Warren and very and Gray, meanwhile, early Lair. Look at that Roach. Okay, yeah. Deepu is going for the Roach Warren. It is all done. Making sure there won't be any tricky targeting. Come on, come on! Boom. Oh, here we go. Gray is taking his third at the gold. So I'm curious what that means. With the layer on the way and the gold being taken, probably not any kind of rush attack. Deepu is checking on things with a couple of Zerglings. Or bringing them back home. And defense is being set to that gold. Now, interestingly enough, Deepu has not taken a third yet. Burrowing. Are we going to be getting burrow roaches then? Deepu is an artist, you know. He has to be creative. Be very interesting to see how their opponents deal with that. All right. The gold third is almost ready. And, the thing here is, if there are going to be a bunch of burrowed roaches just tunneling between the different bases, having this further away is going to be all the more rough. And I'm guessing... oh, DLS Mazel. Yeah, he's not going to be making any infantry. He has the fusion core down, so... two battle cruisers in production. This is going to be a very, very, very interesting match. Churchill's Dentist is not aware of the gold expansion. And here come the roaches. Tunneling claws, I think, still being researched. They do not have it yet. We know that because they don't have the little spines on their backs. I don't know how those spines are supposed to help them dig, but right now they can burrow and heal quickly off of it. Oh, here we go. Grazed Zerglings don't last long against that army. And they are just going right through the front door. Battle cruiser's just about to complete. DLS Mazel being forced to pull workers against stalkers and roaches. That is not going to do very well. There's a lot of armor between those units. Battle cruisers. Oh, look at this. Battle cruisers and mutalisks. They're going to want to try to take out those stalkers as quickly as possible, but even after that, those roaches have a lot of armor. They have a way of continuing to do damage even as they're taking it, and more of them are on the way. Stalkers and roaches. SCVs trying to repair these battle cruisers. I don't know how long they're going to be able to last, even with those repairs though. One of the battle cruisers goes down. Another one with workers following, repairing it. Zerglings against roaches, once again, not usually a good matchup. And Anito, this team is going to have to do something fast. Oh, and look at it. It takes so long to kill roaches. That's the problem. Spire goes down. We have... I don't think... Yeah, we have... 19 drones and 7 SCVs for the team of Anito. Now, battle cruisers do not do a lot of damage per hit. They fire very rapidly and they can move while they're firing, but except when they're using the Yamato gun, they're not quick at taking out units with a lot of armor. I think this is already over. I think both teams were trying for something a little sneaky, but the air units on behalf of Anito just weren't able to get it done. We have GG. Churchill's Dentist takes the match. Alright, let me get everyone back in here. Alright, we had a couple of very, very crazy matches. The first one a lot longer than the second. Let's just talk about those plans there. First match, Team Venito, you were looking to do some early damage. Meanwhile, a bunch of harassment being focused on from the team at Churchill's Dentist. Second one, we had early air versus an early Stalker Roach push, complete with a burrow, which I don't think ended up being used much.
Yeah, everything was unexpected. I knew Deepu would go for Swarm Host, but I wasn't. I was in the bad side of the map.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
Yeah, that gold base in Nightscape.
Yeah, exactly.
Is not it's not pretty when Swarm Hosts come knocking at that.
Mm-hmm. And then it was also good that Neutrophil went for a few carriers and then stopped doing it. So because since I don't have much practice, I overreacted to it and built a lot of Vikings to counter it. And then
Oh,
there
Swarm
goes
Hosts, yeah.
Deepu with all the brood lords. Yeah. So,
Yeah, that was,
crazy game.
I think, a big story that first game. Number one, yeah, Team of Churchill's Dentist managed to just keep doing economic damage throughout, and Neutrophil with his patented corner bases being hidden. But it was a really interesting interaction because both sides had a lot of units that could either only attack ground units or only attack air units, or in the case of Vikings, only attack one or the other in each mode. So I think in the end, Churchill's Dentist just had a better combination of air and ground that you had to divide your attention on. And the second one, roach rushes are always rough, but the battle cruisers and mutalisks just good for attacking quickly, but not good for single target damage.
Yeah.
So both sides very creative, but one creative idea ended up kind of as the build order win.
Yeah, it's kind of like on the first game, there's really a lot of harassments from the swarm host, but in the second game, it's kind of like a blind counter to what we're doing. So,
and
nice games overall.
I do have to ask Deepu, were you planning on doing some tunneling, and then the upgrade just didn't get researched? Or was that just strictly for regaining health?
Oh, it was for regaining health. I don't know if you saw at the end. I was using it to not die to the battle cruiser at the end of the game, but that was kind of already when the game was over. But yeah, I didn't know they had the extra regen. I forgot if they didn't, so I checked it and I was like, oh, I'll try and use that. And then I think I tried burrowing a few in that first fight, but the siege tanks or the marines just got to them before I did. So I didn't get a whole lot of use out of it, but that was the plan, yeah.
So the deal is that previously, I mean, roaches have always regenerated health faster when they were burrowed, but there used to be something where the tunneling claws, along with allowing them to move, also increased how quickly they'd regain health while burrowed. But they removed that part of it, so now it just lets them move while burrowed and gives them some really cool looking spikes on their back. And I have no idea why spikes allow them to move while burrowed if they couldn't before, but that's why I didn't design an RTS game myself. So yeah, thank you very much. Those were two absolutely crazy games. I loved watching and casting them. And yep, we are definitely a couple more steps closer to the playoffs now. So thank you very much.
Yep, good games, good games.
GG.
Thank you.
All right, later.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's adjust the cameras, and then we will finish up with the previous replay. I have to keep track of where I'm even at here. Okay, it's just me, so that's good. And Polaris versus Tsar. And when last we left, the team of Tsar was up 1-0. In the upper left, we have the red Protoss. She is Instability. And here, let's just... Oh, no spray. And her teammates, the Green Terran. He is Caliber C. There we go. There's that spray. Together they are Polaris. And their opponents, up one map. We have the blue Protoss. He is Harus. And his teammate, the light blue Terran. He is Lighthood. Together they are Tsar. Alright, Everyone's sending out their probe scouts, seeing what everyone else is up to. However, this is 2 probes with Harus, and the 2 of them taking different routes as well. I wonder if there is a proxy he's going to be doing with one while scouting with the other. Oh. Okay, that is a heck of a proxy there. Let's see, they can see that alright. Now we get to see what they're going to do about it. Now, Instability already has a forge down. And here we go, Cannon Rush. Probes and SCVs fighting. Yeah, they're going to have to decide. Usually you just want one worker attacking the probe. Okay, the probe goes down. So, believe that means no additional cannons. At this point, though, he may need to actually fly his barracks back a little bit. There's no high ground vision, however, so now is the time to actually attack from up here. There is another probe on the way, and a Reaper. The Reaper is going to be pretty nice as far as high ground vision goes. And one Marine pounding away at that first of the cannons. Alright, we do have an expansion going down. Instability, very steady in the face of pressure. And there's that high ground vision. They need to try to keep that Reaper away from anything. However, one of the cannons goes down. SCV chasing the Reaper off. Instability is expanding, so a lot of care needs to be taken here. However, no additional probe coming out here, so this will be broken pretty quickly as long as they can keep some high ground. SCV goes down, and the Reapers back off. Stressful situation. Lighthood continuing to send more Reapers. Bouncing the Marine and the Stalker. And using its scan to get a little bit of high ground vision so they can attack that supply depot. Lighthood just beginning his expansion. And we've got a Nexus that is done, but there's not a lot of mining that can be completed from there. One cannon is still there on the low ground. And the Stalker is doing their best to just walk around where that cannon is. Some very good control being done on both sides. Lighthood, I've noticed, can be just... He's very good at keeping Reapers alive. Especially when they've got something like a cannon to keep falling back to. Bunker on the high ground to just let the Reapers know that they're unwelcome. Blink being researched by Instability, since it does not look like these Reapers are going to be laying off anytime soon. Oh, Siege Tank. Now there is a good way to clear out cannons. Very well done from Caliber C. I really like that placement of the bunker and the Siege Tank. And that Siege Tank finally finishing off that obnoxious cannon. And Harus is having to back away with the Stalker. And it goes down anyway. We do still have that one Reaper. Now this is a map where there's an alternate route for Reapers to kind of hop in and out. Oh! Does not live to use it though. The Stalkers managed to surround it and take it out. Just one moment. Alright, back at it. So, I don't know. They did a lot of damage. It's kind of up to interpretation whether they did enough damage. I'd say Caliber C certainly suffered off that. Just flying the command center down right now. He has a total of 23 SCVs now, versus the rest of the players who are up in the 30s. Now, I'm very curious how we're going to be following up here. There is a bunker at the front of Czar's base. And Stim on the way from Tega. We're just about to see, yep, both Protosses get +1 attack about the same time. Instability, doing some patrolling here, making sure that nothing happens where the side blockers are either. And likewise, Rus making sure to keep an eye on the enemy base with that observer. Robotic support bay, about halfway done, and also one getting started on the side of Instability. It's really interesting. Instability and Rus, despite having very different openings, are getting a lot of attack. Very similar timings. Concussive shells being researched from Lighthood. Already has Stimpack and combat shields. So it's interesting, when you have a match that starts out with that much fighting right at one of the bases, sometimes afterwards things just kind of stabilize. Both people, both teams in this case, step aside and just try to figure out what to do next and start teching up. Supplies, fairly similar, with Czar having a little bit of a lead in both. And they might be getting ready to do something. I see 2 full medevacs, so one of them with a couple siege tanks, one of them full with Marines moving out. Instability does have these 2 stalkers here, but no cannons or shield batteries in the main. And very similar to last time, we are seeing both the brothers moving out at the same time, seeing if they can hit with a drop and hit up front simultaneously. Still a little bit tricky to keep units together if you're not sharing control. Yeah, the alarm goes down. Oh, you see the infantry getting a little bit ahead. Not taking too much damage, though. All the medevacs are over here and gets 2 tanks sieged. That is very hard to deal with, especially while also trying to take off this frontal attack. Shield force fields are going down, but there are more tanks on the side of Polaris. However, we do have these 2 tanks to worry about as well. And these Marines with medevac support can continue to do a lot of damage. Polaris having to split up a little bit, with Instability being the one sent to clean this up. Being shelled by the siege tanks, excellent blink, hops right in, focuses them down while almost ignoring the Marines for a little while, and they are driven out. The medevacs do survive, but only escape with 1 Marine. Still, I think that was a very effective drop. Once again, the teams are keeping a slight supply lead. Now with Vision, you can potentially shell the natural with the tanks. Oh yeah, I don't think that was quite the time to move there. Caliber C's siege tanks doing a lot of work and joined with Instability's stalkers. I think they will be able to clean up despite more reinforcements coming from Czar. Oh, and look at Lightfoot though. Immediately picks up, has second thoughts for a moment, but does drop a few Marauders into the natural. Caliber C moving forward, sieging the tanks. And the team of Czar is moving back home. very similar as far as the base count goes, although Lighthood hasn't really started saturating his third just yet. Oh, and look at this. Expansions down the left side of the map. Instability and Caliber C, taking more of them. We have a Dark Shrine, more upgrades being researched by all the players, Liberators coming out from Lighthood. Let's see. Lighthood has +1 bio. +1, +1, +1 for Harus. +2 attack for instability, and +1 armor for Caliber C. Harus getting ready for a warp in right now, right in that blind area. Although, let's see, he's not supply blocked. I'm not sure. I guess he's waiting for the Dark Shrine to complete. No one likes having DTs in the base. And look at instability putting that cannon down, but the warp in's going to be a little faster. They should be able to take short work of it. However, one Dark Templar, one... Okay. Ended up having to get out of there pretty quickly. And he puts more Dark Templar on the low ground. Lighthood, with a very strong army here, being prepared to drop at any which place. And with Liberator support, they're doing such a great job this match, just hitting multiple places at once. And look at these Dark Templar heading to the mineral line. There is so much action at once. Harus's Disruptors getting some good damage, maybe not quite as much as he wanted. Oh, let me take that back. That was a lot of bio that just fell there. Dark Templar have been detected here. Where are we at? Caliber C really suffering with supply. And I guess just blocking some infantry. And Lighthood always ready to pick up all those Purification Novas flying out. Of course, then there's the cooldown, so you're always a little vulnerable after using all of them. Instability with an excellent blink. Manages to do some more cleaning up, and just like before, Lighthood wasting no time, just picking up and dropping in the mineral lines. Harus is definitely having to fall back. Instability recalls. Lighthood is already packed up and left, though. See down here, Instability has this fourth that she hasn't been able to mine from, and her main just keeps taking more damage. +3 attack being researched by Harus. And +2 being researched by Caliber C. And more drops. This is, I mean, there's 3 different levels here. 3 different stories, whatever you want to call them. There's a lot of room to just ignore that terrain and just drop around. And once again, at the same time, sending in 2 Dark Templar to the third. Never being content to hit one place. And Dark Templar Blink, Shadow Stride, whatever it's called, being researched. So, the story of this game is Czar has just kept all the action on this side of the map. Polaris has never really been able to go on the offensive at all. They've just constantly been stuck, putting out fires, and here's another. And all this time, I think one of the issues here Just no defensive structures in the mineral line. I mean, there have been some cannons put here by the ledges. Oh, excellent defensive flank instability. Tanks, I think, are about to siege. And I mean, there's been a big cost to all this harassment and all these pushes, but each time they've been doing enough damage to make it well worth it. And even after these things have been almost cleaned up, you always see that little drop right afterwards. There goes a missile turret. You're gonna see another Nova. Does not find anything. Just constant frustration being caused on Polaris. They're in the double digits, while their opponents are in the triple digit supplies. 133 and 112 against 45 and 71. And they're just falling further behind. Instability, not even producing anything at the moment. Warping in something now. Just amazed by just constantly throughout this. Yeah, here's some defensive mineral line structure. It feels like it's a little bit late. Archons joining the fight here. Bio Ball attacking Caliber C's third. Instability can probably do something about this, but I bet it's just they're just being spread too thin. Tries to go up to the middle ground, but ends up getting drawn again. More stalkers being destroyed. The losses on behalf of Polaris just keep mounting further and further. And meanwhile, yeah, having to scan for Dark Templar, not having that energy for mules. This is just a really impressive victory on behalf of Tsar. We have the GG. They took it 2-0. Alright, so I'm going to be figuring out what other matches we can fit in tomorrow. Right now, I believe the team of Memes and Dreams will be taking on Polaris and taking on Tsar. Hurtin' Time will be taking on Frieden. And, yeah, we already took care of the other maps, so one thing I'm going to be checking on is whether we can even maybe start some playoff matches tomorrow. For those of you who can't get enough of me, I have a channel of my own called Counterfeit Penny. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing reactions to the BlizzCon, opening ceremony, doing some streaming of my own, and then eventually getting on to our final night of the FSL season before the playoffs get started, or maybe even we will get into playoffs. Slayer Case, Lurk Eternal. Slayer Case, really good channel he's got. He does all kinds of things, and him and his friends are completely insane. So if you can handle some weirdness, I would watch them. They do quite a bit of StarCraft and Heroes of the Storm. So enough time plugging channels that aren't related to FSL or Psystorm Gaming. I am looking forward to seeing everyone tomorrow. There's my additional pylon. And thank you for watching.